Good evening. Welcome to 7 Days of Wisdom, episode 19. Today is Sunday, March 13th, 2016, and I am your host, Aquaus Kelley. I am glad to have you. It's a pleasure for those of you tuning in. Happy birthday to one of my goddaughters, London, who turned 1 today. Happy birthday to my older sister, Renetta Harris, who would have turned 41. Yesterday we celebrated her memorial service, so she has transitioned peacefully over to what we call the other side, which, I guess we'll never know how that looks until we're over there, but how can we communicate that back to this side? I've always found that kind of intriguing. Tomorrow is my nephew's birthday, Zaire, so happy birthday, Zaire. I guess we're starting this episode off with the birthday shout out. So yeah, March 12th, 13th, 14th, back to back to back, like the Bulls in the 90s, twice. So let's get into it. I don't think it'll be too long this week, but who knows. Have a lot of quotes. I just want to start off with this one quote that I revisited earlier this week. I usually have a theme for the week. I have quotes of the week, and this prior week the quote was, "Strive for excellence, overcome adversity." That's how I've been feeling last week, 2 weeks. It's all about that strive for excellence, and just knowing that adversity is part of the journey, part of our journey, part of our process in life. And it really demonstrates our character as human beings when we are able to overcome adversity, overcome setbacks, overcome obstacles. It says a lot about us. Not only when we overcome, but how we go about overcoming, how we go about handling situations. It says a lot about character. Yesterday, in fact, I was watching a show on YouTube. One of my boys introduced me to it. Grant Cardone, super salesman based in Miami, Florida. He had a show on, kind of like a reality kind of show on YouTube. I forget the name of it, but throughout the show, he pretty much releases contestants based on their performance. So one of the last contestants to get released, when she got released, she wasn't even thankful of how far she had gone. She was the runner-up. She didn't win, but she got pretty far. And she didn't even make time to thank him or shake his hand, thank him for the opportunity. She just started crying and walking away. So, how we handle situations says a lot about our character, our development. And of course, we don't all develop at the same time, on the same accord. We all make mistakes. And that's acceptable. It's a part of life. But knowing and being aware of the situations that help to develop character, and those who are aware usually have a few steps ahead. We sometimes we criticize and we judge and this and that, and that's all a part of life. But even those being judged, if we are to handle our judgment with grace, then eventually the judgment doesn't really matter, right? It only matters. It's only as important as it is to, I guess, the person being judged. So it's up to us how we respond to any judgment or criticism. To be honest, I don't have problem with people who criticize a judge, especially me, because I know how to handle it. That's it. So let's focus less on judgment and criticism and focus more on how we decide to handle situations. So I just wanted to say that back to striving for excellence, overcoming adversity. That's something I came up with in 2011, most likely when I was in City, living in Miami, working at Miami Edison Senior High School. Maybe I saw it in the school somewhere, and that inspired me to come up with that saying. But it really resonates with me right now. I'm sure it resonates with a lot of people right now. Just the ability to strive for excellence and overcome adversity. Stay faithful. That has a lot to do with overcoming adversity. Stay disciplined. Stay patient. Be patient. That has a lot to do with overcoming adversity. Patience, discipline, faith. I was talking about this with one of my neighbors, Jeff. Shout out to Jeff. We have a lot of good conversations. He's a very faithful, spiritual, religious person. And we definitely appreciate one another's friendship. He's a few years younger than me. So we definitely connect on many levels, talking about success, financial, relationships, women. So we're definitely on the same plane, same frequency right now. So, the universe, God, allows us to meet people at timely moments of our life. So that's a friendship I enjoy having, and I feel we learn a lot from one another. And we were just talking about a lot of things, character building, and just our time in life right now. We're not really, of course, we're not where we want to be. We have super ambitious goals, but we are thankful and grateful for where we are living out here in New Brunswick. Beautiful apartments. So, yeah, we're working to get to the next level. So let's hop into quotes of the week. All right? So the first quote comes from Gary Vaynerchuk. He's been doing a huge press run. I caught him on the Lewis Howes School of Greatness podcast. I also caught him on a 92nd Street Y video interview, which was about an hour. A lot of gems in that. I will post that on my website. I'm just not sure when. So definitely head over to aloversambition.com. Check out the content. We're doing a lot of good things over there, building out the website. So check that out when you get the chance. And he said on Lewis Howes School of Greatness podcast, we can't run away from who we are. We can't run away from who we are. So anyone who knows Gary Vaynerchuk knows that he's a very, very clear-cut, outspoken dude who's just 100% authentic about what he does, and that's what I love the most. And when we realize that we can't run away from who we are, it's not that we can't become better people. It's that we are who we are at our core. And we need to know what that is. We need to know our identity. We need to know our truth. The sooner we become comfortable with that, the farther we can go. We can't run away from who we are. Gary Vaynerchuk. And that was on Monday, March 7th. Second quote, Monday, March 7th as well. Ty Lopez, don't get too high. Don't get too low. Stay mellow is what he said. So that's pretty much my life, Staying mellow. Staying pretty controlled. Knowing when and where to pick your battles. Knowing when to fall back. Knowing when to step up. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. Stay mellow. Ty Lopez. Tuesday, March 8th, 2016. Jim Caldwell, and this is out of The Mentor Leader, Tony Dungy's book, The Mentor Leader. Don't be fearful of empowering those around you. Do not be fearful of empowering those around you. This is from Jim Caldwell, all right? And this is definitely a leadership principle that I strongly believe in, is true leaders empower others. True leaders are not afraid to empower other people to be their best selves and step up to leadership. True leaders create leaders. Mentor leaders create leaders. You know? So don't be fearful of empowering those around you. Jim Caldwell. Thursday, March 10th, 2016. This comes from Donald Miller. Again, out of Tony Dungy's book, The Mentor Leader. And Donald Miller tells us, young kids with positive young kids with positive male role models have something to live for. Somebody who is proud of them, somebody who cares about their well-being. It's important that we as males are there for our young males, our young children, to provide a positive support infrastructure and to show them the way, right? Children, students are very impressionable. They want to relate to somebody they feel they aspire to be like. So if you feel that you have someone who is connecting with you on a certain level, it's important to embrace that connection and show them the way. It's very important. It literally changes lives. It can literally save lives. So me being in that position, I always extend a helping hand to young people when I can. And I would like us all to extend a helping hand. Each one, teach one, right? Each one, reach one, teach one. Each one, teach one. Let's provide that support whenever and wherever we can. So, being positive role models is important. Some people say, oh, I'm not a role model, this, that. I believe we can all be role models in some capacity. So, that's what I try my best to do. Donald Miller. Last one, not everyone is going to embrace the vision or have the patience and belief in the vision to conclude the process. Tony Dungy himself. Alright, that's from Tony Dungy. So, not everyone will be equipped to have the vision that we have sometimes. And we have to accept that. We have to be comfortable with that. And as long as we know how to execute our vision and work through that process, some people will join us, some people won't. And the moments that people decide to join us may change. Some people may join us at the very end. Some people may give up and then join us again. It's really up to us to decide how to manage that or decide how to lead that process, as leaders at least. But having that vision and following through on that process when we're in the leadership role is important to understand. Having a level of understanding, empathy for different scenarios, different situations is important. Teaching through those scenarios and situations is important. Reasoning is very important. Explaining, elaborating as to why things need to be done the way they need to be done is important, because that helps people to understand. It's not just being, an authoritative about it. It's not just saying do this. Why? Because I'm the leader and I said it. No, it's not about that. Do this because I'm the teacher and I said it. No. Do this because this is why it needs to be done. This is the reason. People have more. People are more likely to do it because they have the reason behind why it needs to be done, and not only to do it, but to do it effectively because they understand why. When people don't understand why and you just say do it, they may do it, but it's not going to be done effectively because it's the power struggle. It's you being in a position of managing or just being the boss. That's why people are listening to you. You don't want you being the boss the only reason why people listen to you. You want your word meaning something. That's why people should listen to you. You know? It's those, I feel, who are the quiet leaders who aren't even in leadership positions but are able to communicate effectively to other people in respectful ways, and they gain their trust through that. Those are the real leaders, you know, the people that other people go to just because they know that they feel comfortable going to them. You know, it's somebody who understands them, it's someone who respects them. You know, that leadership is transformational leadership. And that's the leadership I strive for. Transformational leadership, not transactional leadership. Transformational relationships, not transactional relationships. So that's what I'm about. I'm about the transformation. I'm about the impact. That's what I feel we need to be about. As I build my circle, as I build my team, it's all about transformation. It's not about transaction. All about transformation. So I would like to just leave things off on that note for this week as we approach a new week. Starting Monday, starting tomorrow, let's transform lives. Let's be transformational and not transactional, all right? Let's make impact. Let's make a difference. So with that, I'm signing off. Once again, 7 Days of Wisdom, episode 19, Aquaus Kelley. It's always a pleasure. Leave comments, notes. Let's interact. Let's engage. Let's connect. Let's amplify. All right? Let's take things to another level. I'm here for you, and I'm really enjoying this process of growing collectively, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of this. All right? As we move forward into 2016. Peace, love, a lover's ambition. Knowledge is power. Knowledge and chill. Take it easy. Enjoy the week. Peace.